Here's all the information about potential signed CDs for the life of a showgirl. This is all the information from past drops since the Lover era, which is when she switched to UMG.
I low-key forgot how chaotic the Lover and Folklore eras were with their drops of signed CDs.
Here's an important thing to note. For signed CDs to be counted, they have to be sold before or on release day. This is a newer rule. Accounting for both online sales and also when she put some of her signed CDs in indie stores, her most common day to release signed CDs or vinyl was on Thursday. But she has dropped them every day of the week except Friday and Sunday. But that's not to say that these days are not possibilities. For her two most recent new releases, The Torture Codes Department and Midnight,
she sold
and vinyl before the album was released. The Midnight CDs were sold 18 days before the Midnight's release, and the vinyl were sold 9 days before the Midnight's release. For the Torture Codes Department, the signed CD and vinyl were sold on the same day. However, both Midnight's and Torture Codes Department both had restocks at different points. If she follows the trends for Midnight's or Torture Codes Department, we should be expecting signed vinyl or CDs of The Life of a Showgirl about 2.5 to 1 week before the release date. That being said, Taylor does not always follow patterns, and she could easily change this and do them earlier or closer to the release date. I highly suggest following all the merch bots because they are really good about telling you when something is being released and sometimes hinting about when something's going to be released. It's also good to be on high alert the entire month leading up to the release of any album. As far as other merch items, those are normally released on the day of release or that week. And just because they are interesting, I want to talk about her other signed CD since the Lover era started. For the Lover era, it was originally a signed Me CD, and leading up to the release of Lover, she actually changed it to a signed Lover insert, and those were 113 days before the release. Folklore and Evermore were both released online and in independent record stores, and originally Folklore was not available for international fans. The signed CDs for Folklore, Evermore, and Fearless were all days after the release. I'm talking 164 days after the initial release for Fearless. The Red Taylor's version signed CDs came out 3 days before the album release, and some were sold in indie stores because my friend picked me up one. Speak Now and 1989 Taylor's versions did not get signed CDs. Now it's just a waiting game, but we should be on high alert, like I said, the 3 weeks leading up to the album release, and looking for signs from Taylor Nation if anything's suspicious, because they tend to hint, and also following the merch bots because some of them track inventory and know when things are coming in, and they've been able to successfully predict some cardigan releases as well. That being said, it's time we beat the resellers and fans get the signed CDs and vinyl first.